I've really hated scales for like many years of my life. I've never really resonated with it. So I kind of like stayed away from them, and it was to my benefit because I learned to like not play a scale up and down. When other people were like practicing scales, it kind of showed in their solos like they were playing scales. I was more like into chord tones and like licks, so I like transcribed a lot of licks. All that stuff was so good for me, so I'm like happy that I took that route. But the thing is, scales are super important. I was more into using arpeggios and melodies, but the thing is, all that's inside of a scale. The scale is just kind of all the notes that fit with the chord, right? Using arpeggios and melodies, it's still gonna be inside of a scale. So I was using a scale, but I wasn't aware of every detail about how it worked and stuff. Scales, for a long time of my life, were irrelevant for me. As I said, I was always like, nope, you don't need scales. Nope, Charlie Parker didn't use scales. Of course he did. Like, who said Charlie Parker didn't use scales? If you're thinking scales aren't important, that thing will catch up to you. Like, it caught up to me. If you're playing an intro to a song, or if you're just gonna like improvise, sometimes you can just hear when someone's like, when they don't know their stuff. And I was there, like I'm probably still there in a sense. Like I feel like I still need to learn a lot more about scales. Don't push it away. Actually start learning scales, not in a unmusical way, which is like up and down. Use it as a tool so you can like use the language of this music, because we all want to get good at the language. So we want to have the scales down so you can like kind of connect the dots from what you're hearing to what you see on the guitar and to get it out, right? So the scale is just there for like as a tool for you to be able to express yourself better, not to like lay out notes that you know work over a chord. That's the unmusical way of doing it. So you want to learn scales, but you have to do it in a musical way. So what I'd say is to learn the major scale like this. Four notes per string. Because when you've learned the major scale like that, you know all the modes then. The modes and the major scale, like the modes all derive from major scale. So if you know the major scale, 4 notes per string up and down, suddenly you know all the modes too. So the major scale is crucial. That don't sleep on the major scale. It's like almost all the lines, almost all the melodies you like come from the major scale. So don't sleep on that. Learn the Dorian scale, but make it flexible. So you make it flexible through using the major 7 too. So you have the 6th, you have major 7. Most of the lines that I've transcribed use Dorian and the melodic in one. So you just use the Dorian scale, but also use the major 7. And now you have the Dorian and the melodic minor. That's going to be so beneficial for you. That's going to be a really flexible thing to have on your fingers when you're playing over minor chords and just anything really. And then the third thing is to play symmetrical scales. Which is our hidden powers of playing guitar, is to play symmetrical scales like the half whole diminished scale, like the whole tone scale, because they're literally symmetrical. You can just move them around and they will look exactly the same wherever you are on the guitar. And a lot of cool lines come from symmetrical scales. Coltrane uses that a lot. Peter Bernstein, which I listen to like all the time. Now you've done like 4 scales, and that's gonna like cover basically everything. Like I've never really used anything else. I mean, I've used a couple of others. These are like the fundamentals. But the thing is, after you've learned these 4 scales, you still have to prioritize language. So you want to play the language of this music, the jazz language, the bebop language, right? That's the priority. So the scales is just something that gonna give you the flexibility to be able to express the language in a more fluent way. So that's like learning grammar. Like scales is like grammar, and the language is just like how you kind of use it in a setting. The scale is just there for you to like see, you kind of see on the guitar where you're heading. So they're there to make you do better choices. So they're not there for you to just lay out notes that you know work, okay? I feel like nobody told this to me. I just realized this by myself when I was like stuck in like playing, and I was like, wait, I don't even know the foundation of this thing that I'm hearing and the lick. So don't overwhelm yourself with like learning 15 different scales. Just learn these 4 scales and you will be so much better off than I was when I was just closing my eyes for this fact. You will start hearing stuff more clear in your head, you know? It will be much more easier to get it out on your guitar. That's what I had to say about scales in this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you join the Discord where we actually talk about this stuff and we discuss music theory, self-improvement, jazz guitar, anything you want really, and it's really fun. So I hope I'll see you on there. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.